Imagine a young man, just 19, thrown into the turbulent waters of Roman politics at a time when assassination, betrayal, and civil war were the order of the day. This young man isn't just anyone. He's the adopted son of Julius Caesar, one of the most formidable figures Rome has ever seen. And in a society gasping for stability, this young man rises like a phoenix, not only avenging his great-uncle's death, but doing something even Caesar couldn't, transforming Rome from a crumbling republic into a monumental empire. This isn't the plot of an epic novel. This is the astonishing true story of Augustus, the founder of the Roman Empire. You don't want to miss this riveting journey through power plays, ingenious reforms, and military conquests that forever altered the course of human history. In ancient Rome, Augustus stood as a transformative figure, reshaping the city and the contours of the entire Roman Empire as its founding emperor. But before he became the colossal figure that reshaped Rome into an empire, he was born as Gaius Octavius Thurinus in 63 BC. The name changes he underwent are a narrative unto themselves. Initially, he was Gaius Octavius, a nomenclature that would evolve over time, eventually becoming Gaius Octavius Caesar as he was posthumously adopted by his great-uncle Julius Caesar. Finally, the Senate would bestow upon him the title Augustus, meaning the revered one, a name that encapsulates his monumental impact on Roman history. The family background of Augustus is nothing short of fascinating and crucial to his destiny. He was a member of the Julii, an old and esteemed patrician family, and more significantly, a direct descendant of Julius Caesar, which gave him an early stake in the game of Roman politics. This connection opened doors for young Octavius and instilled in him the ambition and vision that would characterize his later rule. Influenced by the audacity and political acumen of Julius Caesar, Octavius was groomed for public life from an early age, setting the stage for the seismic shifts he would eventually bring to Rome. Augustus's rise to prominence began with a cataclysmic event, the assassination of Julius Caesar on the Ides of March in 44 BC. The assassination sent shockwaves through the Roman world, as Caesar was not just a military general, but also a dictator with significant political power. His demise created a leadership vacuum, and in the ensuing chaos, Octavius stepped in. He returned from Apollonia, where he had been studying, to claim his inheritance and quickly allied himself with Marcus Antonius, Mark Antony, and Marcus Aemilius Lepidus, forming the Second Triumvirate in 43 BC. This wasn't merely a political alliance, it was a quasi-military junta with the extraordinary power to make and enforce laws, bypassing traditional Roman checks and balances. Their combined forces launched a series of military campaigns, notably the Battle of Philippi, to eliminate those who had plotted against Caesar. Brutus and Cassius, the ringleaders of the conspiracy, committed suicide after their defeat, thereby avenging Caesar's death and consolidating the triumvirate's power. Yet, alliances born of convenience often fall apart once their initial objectives are met. This was the case with Augustus and Mark Antony. Initially, they were bound by a shared mission and mutual advantage. But Antony's relationship with Cleopatra created a significant rift. Roman society viewed this relationship skeptically, considering it a betrayal of Roman interests for personal gain. Octavius, shrewdly seizing this public sentiment, began a propaganda war against Antony, depicting him as a traitor to Rome. The ultimate showdown came in 31 BC at the Battle of Actium, where the forces of Augustus faced off against those of Antony and Cleopatra. This wasn't just a naval battle, it was a struggle for the very soul of Rome. Octavius commanded a well-disciplined fleet and used cutting-edge tactics, including the use of corvus, a boarding device, to gain the upper hand. Antony and Cleopatra's heavy, slow-moving ships were no match for the agility and discipline of Octavius's fleet. After a crushing defeat, Antony and Cleopatra fled to Egypt, eventually taking their own lives. Octavius returned to Rome as the uncontested leader, and in 27 BC, he was granted the title of Augustus, thereby officially inaugurating the Roman Empire. These events didn't just make Augustus a political titan, they were crucial episodes that decisively shaped the geopolitical landscape of the ancient world and set precedents in governance, military strategy, and international relations that scholars and historians would analyze for millennia to come. Upon his ascent to power, Augustus faced the Herculean task of stabilizing a Rome torn apart by civil wars. In understanding Augustus's rise to unparalleled power, one must recognize two crucial legal agreements that shaped Roman governance for centuries: the first settlement of 27 BC and the second settlement of 23 BC. The first settlement was a masterstroke of political genius. Recognizing that overt power grabs had led to the downfall of many before him, Augustus strategically restored the Roman Republic in name while retaining the substance of power. He resigned his extraordinary military authority and returned it to the Senate, receiving in exchange the honorific title of Augustus and a role as a first among equals, or princeps, in the Roman Senate. However, he retained control over key provinces through the Senate's grant of imperium proconsulare maius, giving him authority more significant than any other governor. This allowed him to keep his legions while appearing to respect republican traditions. The second settlement in 23 BC refined this balance of power. Augustus found that the workload as consul limited his ability to focus on broader governance. He resigned the consulship and was instead granted tribunitia potestas, or the powers of a tribune, allowing him to propose and veto legislation, convene the Senate, and intervene in all public matters. More critically, it gave him the sacrosanctity of a tribune, making it sacrilege to harm him or obstruct his initiatives. He also received imperium maius, which granted him greater authority over provincial governors and the power to override them anywhere in the empire. This arrangement was ingeniously designed to bestow upon Augustus sweeping authority while avoiding the title and stigma of a monarch. Through these settlements, Augustus cemented a governance structure that allowed him to rule in all but name as an emperor while outwardly preserving the forms and traditions of the Roman Republic. These two legal frameworks weren't just about concentrating power. They were a paradigm shift that ended the tumultuous civil wars and laid the administrative groundwork for the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability that lasted for over 2 centuries. If you're fascinated by the remarkable lives and transformative events that have shaped our world, then this is the place for you. Click the subscribe button below to stay updated on our latest content. After consolidating his power at home, Augustus turned his gaze outward, embarking on a series of military campaigns that expanded the empire's frontiers. He secured the Spanish provinces to the west, eliminating lingering pockets of resistance and ensuring the smooth flow of precious metals like gold and silver to Rome. His military also campaigned in the Alpine region, neutralizing threats and effectively securing the northern frontier of Italy. But perhaps the most ambitious of Augustus's military endeavors were in the east, where he sought to recover the Roman standards lost to the Parthians under earlier administrations. Through diplomacy more than brute force, he succeeded in having the Roman standards returned, a diplomatic coup celebrated back home as a significant victory. However, not all campaigns met with success. The Roman debacle in the Teutoburg Forest in 9 AD, where 3 legions were utterly destroyed by the Germanic tribes, proved a devastating failure and led Augustus to restrain further ambitions of expanding the empire deep into Germany. Instead, he focused on fortifying the existing frontiers, particularly along the Danube and Rhine rivers, which would serve as durable barriers for centuries. Augustus also instituted reforms in the Roman military, making it a standing professional army. He created the Praetorian Guard for his personal protection and as a powerful tool for maintaining stability within Rome. By the time of his death, The Roman Empire had substantially grown in territorial size, and the army was better organized than ever. Augustus' legal reforms were equally groundbreaking. He introduced a series of morale and marriage laws to promote family values and stabilize a Roman society. Turning our attention to the economic landscape, Augustus was nothing short of a visionary. He implemented a comprehensive tax system based on an organized census, replacing the arbitrary taxation methods of the past and thereby increasing state revenue. But Augustus didn't just collect taxes. He invested in Rome's future. His ambitious building programs were transformative, from constructing monumental temples showcasing Roman grandeur to laying down an intricate network of roads that connected the empire. His infrastructure initiatives served practical and symbolic purposes. Augustus was not only a political mastermind, but also a pioneering patron of the arts. Under his aegis, literature flourished as he encouraged the works of titans like Virgil and Horace, who became enduring symbols of Roman intellectual prowess. Their writings, infused with state themes and ideals, shaped the collective Roman consciousness. Architecturally, Augustus transformed the cityscape of Rome with iconic structures, one of which is the Forum of Augustus. This architectural marvel served as a political and social hub and a manifestation of Roman grandeur. But what solidifies Augustus's eternal imprint on history is the very formation of the Roman Empire. His governance structure was so resilient that it laid the cornerstone for a regime that would span continents and last for centuries. And it's not just his deeds that have become eternal. It's the symbols and titles associated with him. Phrases like the Augustan age continue to evoke an era of unparalleled prosperity and cultural richness. Indeed, in both tangible structures and intangible ideas, Augustus's impact has proven to be both monumental and enduring.